took off his large and heavy shell and left it lying where it fell. Hooray, he cried. Now I've been freed. I'll see the world at double speed. Hello everyone and welcome to Book Days!
The adventure of the day is inspired by the book The Foolish Tortoise, written by Richard Buckley, illustrated by the famous Eric Carle. This book is about a tortoise who's tired of being slow. So he gets the brilliant idea to get rid of his shell, which is also his home. But what he soon finds out is that the world is a very scary place without it. To read this entire story, find it at your local bookstore or library today. And now, we're off to SeaWorld San Antonio, where we're going to Aldabra Island to meet two very special tortoises. It's gonna be an epic adventure. Let's go.
Welcome Polka and Toka from Aldabra Island! The senior aquarist at SeaWorld San Antonio. Chrissy, thank you so much for being here today.
Of course. Thank you for coming out to see these magnificent creatures.
They are awesome. Now, can you introduce to our audience these two fellows here today?
Of course. These are our two larger male Aldabra tortoises. We have Toka and Poka. So Toka weighs about 460 pounds.
Wow.
Where Poka weighs about 406.
That's incredible that they can even walk.
I know. It's pretty awesome. So you may notice that I do have this red buoy with me. So we do have our Aldabra tortoises trained.
Okay.
They can walk around and we'll follow this buoy, which makes it easier for the aquarists to be able to get a weight on them. We can walk them on a scale. And we can change up their social structures as well. We have two other males inside the house right now, and we have a female as well.
Okay, That is so awesome. Oh my word.
Yeah,
Hi,
so they do have some nerve sensations so they can feel when you are petting them and touching them. So feel free, if you would like to go behind me, you can touch his shell.
Let's see what it feels like.
Yeah.
Wow.
You want to describe what it feels like?
It's hard, but almost like calcified.
Yeah.
And so what are their shells made out of?
So keratin.
Keratin.
Is what
and that's the same material as our fingernails, is that right?
Correct. And our ears and the tip of your nose. Yeah. Now, if you want to, we can get him to look down, and then we can have you touch his little footsies.
Oh, really?
So, if you want to touch that, so his skin is going to feel a little bit different than their shell, yeah?
It's a little bit, like, wrinkled, but, like, hardened.
Yeah.
Right?
So,
wow.
They're pretty cool creatures.
Now, how old is this fella?
So, both of these guys are older males, so they're about 55 years old. Yeah.
That is incredible. So how much do they typically eat?
Yeah, so they're gonna be our lawnmowers of Aldabra Island out here. So they are going to graze on the grass, and they also always get hay to graze on inside of their house. But we will feed them different produce items. Lettuce, sweet potatoes, carrots, those are their favorite. They also get celery and bok choy or collard greens. So they get a really good diet.
So they're very healthy creatures.
Yes.
So that just goes to show all you kids, you have to eat, have a diet like an Aldabra tortoise.
Yes. So now you might notice that his feet are kind of like elephant feet.
Yes,
they're really big. Yeah. So these guys will not, they can go in their shell, but they're not gonna, like, you'll still see their body a little bit,
Okay.
but they are built for the land. So those feet and those toenails are built for the land to walk on, whereas sea turtles have those flippers to swim through the water.
Oh, that's a very interesting point, because when you think about turtles, tortoises, that family, you think of like the ocean and that these awesome creatures are built like for the land.
Exactly. Now, a fun thing about them, just so you can see us, put them down. See? Yeah. Cool.
So does he like bright colors?
Yeah, so as you may notice, this is red.
Yes.
They do like apples, so we'll give them apples as a treat, not all the time, but sometimes. So obviously we don't really know exactly how they see, just like every human sees a little bit differently, the colors and stuff, but we do know they can distinguish this red coloration from everything else. So
very cool. So what about this awesome pond that they have?
Yes, a great exhibit for them. We are so excited that this is out at SeaWorld San Antonio, and they're able to be seen by all of our guests that come on through. They do have their pond water feature. Now, as I said, they can't swim, but it's really cool to see an Aldabra Island or Aldabra tortoise floating in the water.
No way!
Yeah, so they are found on Aldabra Island, out off the coast of Madagascar. So,
I thought that was just a SeaWorld thing.
No, it's actually an atoll, but island. It's called Aldabra Island as well. So they are, they're pretty awesome. They love the water, and it helps them since they're cold-blooded animals. They don't regulate their body temperature like you and I, warm-blooded, constant. Their body temperature is always fluctuating. So if it's warm out in the summer, they can cool out off in the pond, or they can go inside the house too, which is temperature regulated for them.
AC for the Texans.
Yes, or sometimes it gets chilly. So
that is true.
We can bring them inside and make sure that they are not getting too cold as well.
What is too cold for a tortoise like this?
Yeah, so we usually will bring them inside anything below 50. If it's raining, we'll bring them in a little bit sooner than that, just because if you and I go for a swim, we're going to be a little bit colder. And
definitely.
So if they decide to get rained on, we want to make sure that they are all staying healthy and happy and at the proper temperature. These tortoises can get really big. So the males get bigger than the females.
Okay.
The males will get to be about 550 pounds.
No way.
The females about 350, so they are smaller than the males, but these guys are the second largest tortoise species, second to the Galapagos.
That is crazy. Oh my word. Now, so I'm sure the kids are thinking, oh, this looks like so much fun. I could ride one. I mean,
yes.
Could you ride one? We're not going to today.
Yeah, we don't want to be riding the tortoises. As I said, they weigh 400 pounds over. So adding more weight to them could be detrimental. So we don't want to be adding any more weight to these guys.
Heavy.
Yes.
Oh my word.
Yes.
So great. Now, what kind of enrichment do you do with the tortoises, right? Sometimes we think, oh, tortoises, they just like to eat and, sleep and not move around a lot. But what kind of enrichment do you do with them here?
Yeah, so we will change up their diets and give them something like the apples we were talking about. That can be some good enrichment for them. Or, as I mentioned, they do have those nerve endings in their shells. So sometimes we can take a brush out here and give them a different texture to their shell. And it's very positive for them. We can spray them down with the hose. They seem to love it. They'll reach on up very tall and stick their necks out. So it's kind of cool to see that as well. But yeah, they have those really long necks. And those were built for them to try to get the leaves or off the trees at Aldabra Island.
Wow, look at that net.
No, I can't. Go for it. And I can't remember if I told you, but I love giving them their neck rubs because that is actually where the largest vein is. And we do physicals on these animals every year.
Wow.
So we will get blood work on them. So I like to, just like you and I, if we go to the doctor, we know that we're going to get our blood drawn and we kind of fight it with our arms.
Oh, no.
So I want to make sure that rubbing their necks and giving them neck rubs is a positive thing for them and they don't think they're going to get their blood drawn every time. So, and then they'll keep their necks out for us and they'll be very nice patients.
That's awesome. It's kind of funny how they have some of the same characteristics, maybe like a dog and a cat, right? You know,
so something pretty cool with them is they can distinguish between Aquarius out here.
Really?
So they can tell the difference between myself or Mr. Chris who just walked by. So they definitely follow some Aquarius better than others back into the house when they want to go, and they know the good dad or the mean mom. So they know who to follow and who's going to be giving them extra treats.
That is hilarious. Oh my word. So I have to ask, so our book of the day is the Foolish Tortoise. So the tortoise that wants to leave his shell behind and just wants to go have fun without the burdensome huge shell, right? You think if they could, they would want to have like a day without their shell?
No.
No, okay.
Definitely not. This shell is their protection.
Okay.
Yeah, so if they were to leave their shell, that would leave their body very open to predators or getting hurt. So definitely the shell is very important for them and to keep them safe.
And how fast can they walk?
They are pretty slow. I'm sure you've heard about the tortoise and the hare.
The hare?
Yes, but the only way the tortoise would actually lose if he was being lazy. So they can move slowly, but they'll keep moving.
Oh, yeah. Oh, like this?
Yeah, so that's about a little bit faster than that is what they'll move. Yeah.
It's a race. It's a race. Well, Chrissy, this has been so awesome to be here with Toka and Poka here today.
Yes.
Thank you so much for all your wonderful
do you want to feed?
Oh, let's do it before we end today.
So you can hold the bottom of the piece of lettuce and put it right by
bottom
Toka.
just like
Right
this.
there is
Okay.
perfect. Yeah. And you can let
Look
go
at
of that
that
piece of lettuce. And he might drop it, but that's totally fine.
Look at
You
that
want to give
huge
Poka a treat as well?
Sure.
You put it right by, and you'll notice his tongue, how he sticks his tongue out.
Wow.
Help him eat. You can let go. Perfect.
Oh,
Yeah.
And you had to see Poka and Toka here at SeaWorld San Antonio.
You'll
Chrissy,
probably see me too.
and Chrissy, stop by. They are so precious. You cannot miss them. It's been such an awesome time today. Thank you for your time.
Of course we love Aldabra Island, so we love talking about it to everyone.
From all of us here at Book Days, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming adventures. And we'll see you next time. Bye!
Want more book days? Well, the adventure has only begun. Check out these episodes and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming adventures.